everybody's going to want one of these when I'm done. He says, I want one now. Who does all the cooking in your home? We're going to talk about that somewhere in the middle of the show. As soon as the song ends, we'll start the show. By the way, I'm going to give extra tickets away out here at the show today for door prizes. If anybody can tell me the name of the song, I'll give you a ticket towards a door prize. Anybody know the name of the song?
Orange Blossom Special.
What do you think it is?
Orange Blossom Special.
You think it's the Orange Blossom Special?
Yeah.
Just got you a ticket. Are you a musician by any chance? I noticed a lot of y'all have these watches where you count your steps and stuff. A lot of people have. I figured it out the other day. You can eat donuts really fast. It looks like you're walking.
I haven't tried that. You gotta try it. You got any donuts?
Do what?
You got any donuts? You need to try that.
Nah, I'm joking. I teach nutrition. Donuts are not on the top of the nutritional chart. Showtime in 30 seconds. Everybody's got a ticket, right?
Yes.
Sit down. I did tell the ladies that if they sat down before we start the show, you get a beautiful set of measuring spoons. So sit down and watch the show. One for you and the young lady behind you.
Hey, is that sea cream?
Is it got, I don't know his name. His name's Tom. He's out of California. I seen him. I got that off stage thing. You guys are gonna have a good time at this show. We're gonna do a lot of laughing, smiling. Yes, ma'am, those tickets are for door prizes. Grab a seat, sit down, get your ticket. Did you bring the Sheffield lemonade? I like the way you do that. You come to my show, don't bring the lemonade. Get on the front row if you can. You get double tickets on the front row. I just got a couple seats left in the front row. We're going to be giving away cookware and door prizes as we do get started with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the only requirement that I do have is you do have to laugh at some of my jokes. I'll help you out as we go along to that, brother. None are very funny. That's why I had the sign made up in the first place. As we do talk a lot about health and nutrition, is there anybody out here that's health conscious? Anybody out here conscious? Okay, trying to see who's awake. Okay, I heard the best story the other day. We talk a lot about health and nutrition, and I heard the best story there with this lady. She went out and lost a lot of weight. And what's the first thing a woman goes out and buys when she loses a lot of weight? New clothes, yeah. And she went out and bought a skirt so tight she couldn't hardly move it. You ever see them ladies do that? And she went to catch a bus and her skirt was too tight, so she pulled her zipper down in the back to loosen her skirt up. Went to step up a second time and she still couldn't move. Now by the time she zipped her zipper down the third time, the gentleman behind her is getting so mad, he picks her up and he puts her on the bus step like that. And she goes, "Excuse me, sir, I don't think I know you." And he goes, "No, ma'am, you don't, and I don't know you either, but you just zipped my zipper down 3 times. Get on the bus." I don't know if that's a true story, but I'm not going near that bus stop anymore. But anyway, as we show this to everybody out here, we're going to be doing a home meal for you in 12 minutes. It's going to go very quick and very fast. We are going to talk a lot about health and nutrition. I'm going to ask certain questions throughout the show. If you answer certain questions correctly, you get an extra ticket towards the door prize. Let me give you, like, what's your name, dear? Judy? You see, answered that, Judy? Well, that wasn't for a ticket, but that's how you answer the questions. Okay, so, oh, that's rotten. Should I give Judy a ticket for knowing her name? How do we know? It's Judy. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you could be somebody else. Okay. Okay, Judy, you got the first ticket right there. Let's start with the carrots. Ladies and gentlemen, they did a study a while back right here in Dallas, Texas, at Parks Hospital. What they found out is that people that have high cholesterol, cancer, heart problems, and weight problems all had one thing in common: they were not regular vegetable eaters. Why? Because mom doesn't want to spend all her time cutting up vegetables, why dad's usually sitting on his buns watching television. Now I know that wouldn't happen in anybody else's home, okay? So we start with the carrots just like you see right here. And does anybody here know, for an extra ticket, what vegetable is the highest fighting form against cancer than any vegetable you could put? What do you think it is? Cauliflower? No? What did you say? Garlic. Now actually what we were looking for is broccoli. Now broccoli is a very hard food to cook with. Most people when they do broccoli, they either overcook it, they undercook it, or in today's world, people are trying to change the flavor to butter and cheese. As crazy as that is, we're gonna add a little broccoli to our diet, just like you see right there. And the other one we're gonna add, ladies, I'm gonna add a little bit of cabbage. Cabbage is the highest fiber vegetable you can put in your body today. If you want to fight internal cancers, colon cancer, breast cancer, I tell people eat lots of cabbage. Now I do give cabbage a nickname. We call it our 2x2x2 food, meaning it's a food that normally takes about 2 hours to cook. You can smell it from 2 blocks away when you are cooking it, and after you've had it 2 hours later, you got gas so bad. Sir, I wouldn't laugh about that real hard. That gives you away. Now, we're also going to add a little bit of sweet corn as well. Now, normally, and I say normally, if you were going to cook these vegetables up right here, what is the first thing everybody puts in the pot before you put on the stove is usually water. Now, we all do this. Here's what we do. You take the water, you pour it over your vegetables right there. We all do it. You place this on the stove, and everybody turns their temperatures way up to high. At which point you become the proverbial pot watcher. How many of y'all have ever done this? You sneak up on your vegetables every so often and you poke them. And you jab them and stab them, making sure they're good, dead, and done. Now, the only problem with doing that is your vitamins, your sugars, your nutrients, and your flavors have to go somewhere. Where are they gonna go? Look at this. They're gonna go into the water. You'll notice the water's already starting to turn color. Your nutrients, flavors, and vitamins are right there. We're gonna cook these vegetables without any water at all. We're gonna retain every vitamin, sugar, and nutrient, but we have to add something called the flutter cover. How this works, when this reaches the perfect cooking temperature, the cover will start to flutter or steam. It's gonna let me know we're cooking too hot so you don't burn the foods. Anybody here ever burn anything in the kitchen before when you were cooking? Okay, how many of you like how many of you like simple or easy in the kitchen? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very famous French chef in the audience. His name, what's your name, sir?
Joe.
Okay, Chef Joe here. He's gonna walk us through here, and as soon as you see the steam, Joe, you let me know. And then we're gonna show you what to do with this pan right here. Now the other one, how many of you remember this pan right here? The old Revereware? Some of you may still have some of this laying around. You know why? This is what we get when we get married. You know, I always ask the men, what kind of tools did we get when we got married? We didn't get no tools. We got pots and pans. They didn't work very well. Because if I tried to put these on the stove without water, what would happen? They would burn. We already know this. This shows just common sense. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add water, okay? And what we're gonna do, we're gonna cook these vegetables just like you do at home, and then we'll let you taste the difference. Are you with me? Okay, now, how many of you like stir fry? You like stir fry? We're gonna do what we call a stir fry salad, not like one of those honeymoon salads you get at home. Y'all know what a honeymoon salad is, don't you? You never heard of a honeymoon salad? That's what they call lettuce alone. Actually, a lot of people don't get that one too fast, but here's what we're gonna do. Take your cone out. When you get your machine home, there will be a video. In your kitchen, you're gonna have a video that's gonna walk you through everything you need to do with your kitchen cutter. Do any of you have a food processor at home right now? Of course, my next question always is when was the last time you seen it, if you had one? If nobody's ever seen this machine before, it was invented in 1902 for the American farmer. Are you with me there? I got one. It's 115 years old, sitting right here from 1902. Ladies and gentlemen, and all you ever had to do was be able to turn a handle, just like you see right here. We're going to start off with a little bit of zucchini. Now remember that the Italian people in this country have less problems with cancer than any other nationality that there is. One of the linkage of that, they eat a very high fiber diet. Of course, the other's wine. No, we're not going to give you any wine. We're going to have to stick to the high fiber. Has anybody here ever worked that machine called a mandolin? It's a razor on a board where you run your fingers. You know what I'm talking about. No more do you have to worry about your fingers. Watch this. There are no blades on the inside, so it's not going to hurt you. Lightly on the outside, not going to hurt you. Just don't want to put your hand on the inside and turn real hard. Take your zucchini, turn the handle, and this will cut your zucchini up real quick, real fast, just like you see right there. Now, a lot of people ask me, they say, Mark, will that machine cut your fingers? Yes, it will, but I don't recommend it. Okay, they're not getting any better. Okay, hand on the inside cleans it out nice and neat, just like you see right there. How about a little bit of yellow squash? Here's a fun trivia question. Fruit or vegetable?
Fruit.
It is a fruit because it has seeds and it flowers, okay? Very, very good. Good job. Now, but you had a 50-50 shot at that, okay? But please don't do, ladies and gentlemen, like the lady did at my last show a while ago. This is part of like a commercial. A while ago, I was doing a show 3 times in 30 years. Every show I've done, I've been out here at this fair for 30 years. And 3 times, I tell people there are no blades on the inside, not gonna hurt you. Lightly, not gonna hurt you, just don't put your, 3 times I tell people. A lady walks up this morning and she goes, Mark, she goes, I've had that machine for 3 years, I can't work it. Now I'm thinking this is pretty easy. So I said, dear, why don't you come up here and show the people what you're doing? I thought she would do it backwards. She walked up and put the yellow squash and tried to put it in the middle right there. 30 years I've done this, I never had that happen before. It goes on the outside. Turn the handle, and this will cut your yellow squash real quick, real fast, just like you see right there. Here's your favorite part of all. There are no blades on the inside, not gonna hurt you. Take your cone, rinse your cone off, you're ready to go to your next cone. Yeah, Joe, I see your wife had to tell you to tell me that. That's all I'm letting you know, Joe, okay? You were so interested in this thing right here. Okay, we'll let this cook just a little bit more for the flutter. I got to show you this because, ladies and gentlemen, with the number 2 cone, when you get this home, and I told you there would be a video, it's going to show you how each cone works with each vegetable. Like this is the number 2 cone. I get to cut up my most favorite vegetable in the world called the onion. The onion is loaded with vitamin A, it's high in fiber, and the onion is also the most natural birth control there is. Now, oh no, I know this because I give it to my 17-year-old granddaughter every morning before she goes to school. Boys won't talk to her at all. No, my daughter thinks I'm a miracle worker. You know, a lot of people say onions are a diet food. When you eat onions, you don't lose any weight, but you look a lot smaller from a distance. They're not getting any better, are they? By the way, as this cover starts to flutter, me and Joe, we got this down. Are you ready, Joe? Once you can spin that cover right there, watch the steam. Watch the steam as I take it off. It's going to totally come to a halt. And what's happening is that steam's still on the inside. That lid locked down. And what we did, we're locking in every vitamin and nutrient and flavor. How many of you like great flavor when you cook? I would hope that would be all of us. We're going to lock in the flavors, turn the stove off. Are you with me there? How many of you like to save money? Now we got great flavor. Now we're going to save money, and guess what? We're going to retain all the vitamins and nutrients inside this pan right here. We're going to lock everything in right there. These vegetables you're going to boil, spoil, jab, stab, poke, spoke. Let's come back to the kitchen cutter. Leave the skin on your onion, put it inside your kitchen cutter, turn the handle, and not only will it cut the onion, but will peel the onion for you down to the peel. No more crying, no more tears. Let the machine do all the work for you. Hand on the inside, cleans it out, does a beautiful job. Did I mention that I give a couple of these away free at the end of every show we do today? If I gave you all one at no charge right now, who would take one? because it gets better. Let me show you. By the way, has anybody here ever made, I should bring some out here, anybody here ever make their own coleslaw?
Yeah.
Now, if you were going to make your own coleslaw today, years ago, people would get out what they called the kitchen cutter from hell. How many of you remember the old knuckle buster? Now, yeah, if you don't use this anymore, yeah, you ran your knuckles over here. If you don't use this anymore, you can go down to the store. H-E-B, Tom Thumb, Fiesta. They will sell this to you in a bag at $4 a bag for something you could do for a quarter. Wow. Anybody here ever open up a bag of vegetables and it sort of smelled like it's been on the shelf for like 3 weeks? Do you know why? Because it has been on the shelf for 3 weeks. Let me show you something. I don't normally like adding cabbage to onions because when you add cabbage to onions, what do you get? Tear gas. Okay, take you. Sir, you keep laughing about that gas thing, okay? And that's all right. But let me show you something. Take your care. And this thing here will flap down, get down, and do some coleslaw. I tell people this will do coleslaw faster than the people in South Florida can vote. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's real quick, all the way down to the last leaf. Do the same thing with your red cabbage, and faster than Monica Lewinsky could have said no. They love that joke in Arkansas. Ladies and gentlemen, you have beautiful coleslaw. But here's the thing. It is the only machine in the world that has a lifetime warranty on the motor. Okay, you'll get these jokes tomorrow. They'll be just as funny tomorrow. Anyway, take your cone. I like he's pondering. Like, how's he do that? You know, and that's okay. You can cook too. Okay, but I want to show you this. Is there anybody out here that still bakes? Does anybody bake? Okay, good. I got big. If you were going to bake a pumpkin pie today, do we get the pumpkin, go out, cut it all up, chop it up, or do you buy the filling in the can? Now, if you buy the filling in the can, that's called faking bacon. Oh yeah, let me show you. Take your pumpkin. This thing will do cheeses, crackers, coconut, chocolate, and the best part of all is it will peel it for you down to the peel. Let the machine do all the work. How many of you add cheese to your salads? We take the healthiest food in the world called a salad. First thing we add to it is fat. Now here's a new substitute for you. Butternut squash. Sweet, tastes good. Loaded with vitamin A, beta carotene, no fat. Now, don't get me wrong. Hold on just for a second. Alrighty, a little sip of water there. Don't get me wrong. My wife and I, we love cheese. But if you buy your cheese already in a bag, grated, it's going to cost you twice as much. Okay, so as we do this, hand on the inside, cleans it out nice and neat. How about, anybody here ever make a zucchini nut bread? Take your zucchini, throw your zucchini in here, and this thing does a beautiful zucchini nut bread and will peel the vegetable for you. Now, celery's another one. Now, this is for people that are fighting high blood pressure, heart problems, weight problems, diabetes. God bless you. Inside your celery is a natural sodium. Are you with me? On the outside part where the strings are can be bitter and hard for the body to digest. You go to your finer restaurants, they take out the inside of the celery. Watch this. Put it inside your kitchen cutter. Now you can do it because it's going to de-string your celery. It's going to take the inside. Now you throw the strings away. Don't need that anymore. And all the rest of your celery is right there for your soups, your salads, your dressings. You have your celery with no strings attached. Oh, they're not getting any better, are they? Wow. Slicer cone. Is there anybody out here that grows their own garden? Anybody grow their own garden? I grew up on a farm, grow my own garden every year. And I think a good cucumber salad is one of the most refreshing things in the summer there is. Watch this. Take your cucumber, and this thing does a beautiful cucumber salad. How about some sliced yellow squash? You got sliced yellow squash? And if you want to do something fun like corn on the cob, get a different machine. Okay, this one. You didn't think I was going to throw corn in there, did you? You know what's funny? From my side, you ought to see your faces. Your eyes get this big around, and there ain't going to be no corn in this machine, I'm telling you right now. But has anybody here, I should ask this question, anybody here ever make an apple pie? You ever make an apple pie? Oh yeah, best apple pie you ever. Put the apple in there. Turn the handle just like you see right here. You'll actually feel it hit the core. Once you feel the core, turn it over to the other side. Now you have the most perfect apple slices for apple pies, drying fruits for snacks. And ladies and gentlemen, we just made a salad here in about 3-4 minutes. How long would it take you to make that much salad up by hand? Now, most of us wouldn't do it, but Dr. Mayo, the Mayo Clinic says this, that if we would eat one good, healthy salad every day. Not only does that lower your cholesterol, lower your blood pressure, it lowers risk of cancer by 70% if you eat a healthy salad every day. How many of you all right now have become label watchers and you're actually going in the store reading the labels? And good, you all should be. But how many labels do you find in the produce section? I mean, what would it say if it said anything else? Say made by God. Good stuff, perfect in every way. The best medicine you put in your body is right there in the garden. Adam and Eve lived to be over 900 years old in the Garden of Eden, and there weren't no golden arches. There were fruits and vegetables. We won't talk about the apple. Now, what's the hardest part about a food processor is cleaning one. Anybody here's ever had a food processor? Takes you longer to clean it than does it cut the vegetables, prepare the vegetables, and eat the vegetables. This machine, yes.
Where's the blade at on that thing?
Where's the blade at? Yeah, those are the blades. They go right inside. Okay. By the way, wipe it off with a paper towel. You're cleaned up. You're done, but don't put it away. How many of you heard the old adage, out of sight, out of mind? Leave it sit on your counter. Use it every single day. Now, I told you I'd give a couple of those away free at the end of every show we do today, but how many of you ladies are impressed with that machine? Very good. How many of the men are worried? All of them. By the way, do I have any men out here that cook? Any men that are the cooks? Cook here, cook. Good job. Okay, I gotta ask that question. See, ladies, I love when men cook. But ladies, do you realize that if men cook this much, men would buy everything that we have? How do you know? Look at a man's garage. Men have all the best tools and toys. Craftsman, skill, meat eater, weed eaters, chainsaws, riding lawnmowers. How many of you ladies have riding vacuum cleaners? No, they haven't made them yet. It's a good idea. But see, men are proud of their tools. You walk in a man's garage, oh, we hang them. Men love looking at, and I do dinner parties in people's homes. I walk through the garage, and it's beautiful. And then I walk into your kitchens, and the part that touches our food every day, this is what we're cooking out of. Make a lot of sense? Folks, this don't make any sense at all. It's the most expensive cookware on the market today because you keep buying it. And if you think about it, how many of you remember this pan right here? The old Teflon coated pan where your husband comes home and says, honey, went out and bought you a whole bunch of that new Teflon. And about 6 weeks later, you're doing one of these numbers like this. And he says, sweetheart, I told you don't put so much pepper on my eggs. Do you realize it wasn't pepper? This stuff starts coming off into your foods. Anybody here ever read the directions on this thing? Here's what the directions say. When you get one home, when this starts to come off, what are you supposed to do with the pan? Throw it away. And you did. And then you went out and you bought another one. Then you went out and you bought another one. See, now you don't find Teflon coatings anymore. They're getting rid of them because they know how bad they are for the body. So they got something new. Anybody here ever heard of ceramic cookware? Oh, they're making them in real pretty colors. I mean, a little bit of everything. First one came in. How many remember the green pan? Do y'all remember that right there? The guy on TV, yeah, he would blow the egg out. Now, you never seen the egg land, but the egg would just fly out of the pan. And guess what? The green started doing. The green started coming off as well. Does anybody see a pattern here? And by the way, just so you all know, on any of those ceramic cookwares on the market today, they are now making them with glass lids. Yeah, does anybody know what happens to the lid when you drop it? Okay, it becomes pieces. Okay, you can't use it no more. That's scary. We've all had them. But I want to show you the new one. Because, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have seen the red copper pan? You all seen that one right there? Oh, yeah. Everybody's seen it. Look at this. 7 years later, look at the handles. It's the same manufacturer. Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. Guess what? I read the directions this time. You know what the directions say? When you get this home, you oil it. Put it in the oven, you bake it for 20 minutes. Take the oil and wipe the oil. Now you can do an egg without oil. Anybody here ever lived on a farm? It was what they called seasoning the skillet years ago. We all remember seasoning those skillets? Okay, so you have to season a pan because, ladies and gentlemen, they've never made a pan you can do an egg without oil. I've tried them all. Anybody ever tells you they got a pan they can do an egg without oil, and especially out here at the shows, you walk up to them and say, well, pull one out of the box, brand new, and let me see you do it. And you pick the box. Can't do it. Because eggs are solid protein. You go down like to Walmart and buy one of those Rachel Ray specials for $29. Or has anybody here ever been to that store, Williams Sonoma? Yeah, it's at the Galleria here, and they got a store down there that has a $400 nonstick pan. And if you're going to do an egg, you're going to need oil. I've tried them all. And as I show this to everybody out here, ladies and gentlemen, this is so special for everybody because of this. We're going to show you how to do an egg in stainless steel. But this next information I give you was given to me by one of my customers. She went out and bought a $3,000 glass top stove. Went down and bought one of these wonderful specials with the rings around the bottom. Anybody want to know what these rings did her to her $3,000 glass top stove? It scratched the heck out of it. Here's the greatest thing about this cookware. Ladies and gentlemen, you can use it on any stove. You can put it on electric, gas, open fire, on the grill, in the oven up to 400 degrees. It will go on glass tops and on induction ranges. Now what I'd like to do is show everybody how to do an egg in stainless steel. And knowing that we were going to need oil, because they've never made a pan you can do an egg without oil. Can anybody tell me what is the healthiest oil to cook with? What are we using at home now? Do you know what you're using? What kind of oils?
Olive oil.
Olive oil. What are you using? Olive oil here. Do you know what you're using? I got olive. Anybody think other than olive oil that I would like to? What, canola oil there? Okay.
I use grapeseed.
Do what?
I use grapeseed.
Grapeseed oil, that's okay. That's a good one too. I'm gonna show you a whole bunch. Because first off, olive oil and grapeseed oil, guess what? I can use on my foods. It will lower your cholesterol. It's good for your blood. It's good for your heart. But guess what? You can't cook on high temperatures because it can burn and break the molecule levels down. So a lot of people say, what about, say, canola oil or vegetable oil? Now I'm dealing on high temperatures. I can do that with that, but now I'm dealing with saturated fats. Okay, here's what I'd like to show everybody. Avocado oil and coconut oil. Good oils, good for your blood, good for your heart. I can do it on any temperature. Doesn't make any difference. It won't break down. And if you look on the back of it, it says 0, 0, 0, 0. Are you with me there? So here's what I'd like to do. We're going to turn the stove on. Why do we turn the stove on? Well, you can't cook an egg in a cold skillet. It just kind of sits there, okay? So here's what I would like to show everybody. I would like to share this one because, ladies and gentlemen, if you are taking oil out of a jar, a can, a bottle, you are using twice as much. You're going to use, remember we're using 7 layers of metal. All I have to do, how you doing, bud? All I have to do is touch the bottom of the pan and watch this. I always use my oil in a spray form. Let's save some money. You with me? 7 layers of metal. Preheat the stove. All I got to do is touch the pan where the egg is going to sit. Okay, so I go 1, 2, and 3. Once you do that, take your egg. Watch this. We're going to drop this in the skillet right there. Very good. And then once I drop that in the skillet, this next part of the show is for all the men in the audience, men that cook. Turn your temperature down to low. See, men want to cook on high heat. Watch a man cook in the kitchen. Anybody here ever heard the phrase, get her done? That's what men do. See, we want to crank that. If you grill, you know why you do that? You grill high heat. This in the kitchen with this cookware, you never need high heat. Everything is done on low temperature. And while that is cooking, just like you see right here, does anybody here know what disease been linked to your old aluminum pots and pans? Well, I don't know if any of you already said it back there, but it's actually, we told it was called Alzheimer's. It's the number 3 killer in our seniors today. We know for a fact when people die of Alzheimer's, when their bodies are checked, they have 8 times more aluminum on their brains than people that die of natural causes. Now, I don't know how the aluminum gets there because I ain't a doctor and I don't really know, but see, I would never eat out of aluminum because it's a soft metal. They've actually banned aluminum from so many different countries that have what we call socialized medicine. And here's the thing, how many of you go out to eat on a regular basis? Do you know that just about 90% of our restaurants in the United States today use aluminum pots and pans to cook your foods in? And here's a good one for you. How many of you have animals, like cats or dogs? Anybody here? Now, see, I raise Welsh Corgis. I love my dogs. But you know, you take your animal to a vet, it's against the law for the vets to feed your animals out of aluminum. They have to be fed out of stainless steel. Why would we do any different for us? And you know what, every show I do, one or two people always get their cookware. Husband says, honey, I can't wait to start using it. Wife goes, me neither. Then one of the others says, why don't we go home? We give our old aluminum to our children. If you're gonna give it away, give it to somebody you don't like. Now, lady, my last show said, what if I don't like my children? That's not where I was going. But how many of you like easy in the kitchen? How many of you like simple? Ladies and gentlemen, no more do you have to eat the pans, the Teflons, the ceramics, any of them. Look at this. Take your egg, just like yours. How about flip your egg over? I can't make it any easier for you to do than that right there. And then if you look at this, it's so beautiful. We're going to lay this egg out over easy, just like that. But what I'm about ready to do, please do not try with any of your pans at home, because if you take a hot skillet, put it under cold water, what's going to happen to your pans at home? They're going to warp, they're going to buckle, they're going to bend all up. How many of you all right now have beautiful stoves at home? You chase your pots and pans across the stove like that. By the way, here's the greatest part about this cookware. Ladies and gentlemen, and it's 100% American made. How many of you are starting to buy more American-made products? I would hope that would be everyone. But when they make this cookware, they do something called the cold pressing. It will never warp. It will never buckle. That pan has been heated up and cooled down over 1,000 times, and it still is flat. And look at the cleanup. Wet paper towel. You're done. And that was an egg. That was an egg. By the way, cast iron cooking's different. I grew up on a farm. And anybody here still use a cast iron skillet? Good job. Best old cornbread maker in the world, right? You gonna make some cornbread? Man, you get out a cast iron skillet. But I'm gonna tell you something you ain't never gonna believe. My grandmother, my mother, when they were cooking in the cast iron skillet, you are not gonna believe this, but there was a can that always sat on our stove that said grease. And you are not gonna believe this, but they would save the oil. Oh yeah, they would take the oil and they would pour it back inside the can, and it came with a little food debris, so you got rid of all your junk. And the next morning you got up with a spoon and you scooped that old oil out. You never knew whether you were having last night's dinner, yesterday's lunch, or this morning's breakfast. It all tasted like bacon. And somebody said, what's wrong with that? But as ladies and gentlemen, we always put it in a can, because here's the thing. Had we put it in a jar, nobody would eat it. I want you to look at your faces. Everybody goes, ooh. Now, we'd eat it out of a can, but we wouldn't eat it if we had to look at it every day. But here's the thing. If you dump this down your drain, which nobody would do, why? Because it would clog that drain. Just the same as it's going to clog this one right here. As a father of 5 and grandfather of 7. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this right here. Look at this right here. Can y'all see that? The average 11-year-old in the United States today's arteries already look like this right here. You add Burger King, McDonald's, and the Texas State Fair. That stuff out there will kill you. I don't call them funnel cakes, I call them funeral cakes. But ladies and gentlemen, did I say 7 grandchildren? 6. Boy, am I going to get in trouble for my children, okay? I hope there's not one on the way. But ladies and gentlemen, if you'll look up here at me, Wes Ben, we wanted to design the most perfect cookware in the world, and the only way we could do it was by using these 3 pieces. Why aluminum? Aluminum heats up very fast. What's cast iron do? It will retain or hold the heat. So what they did, they took 3 layers of aluminum and they wrapped it twice around the cast iron skillet. Then what they did is they enclosed that between 2 layers of surgical stainless steel over 7 layers of metal. Now watch this. The only company in the world, we cut the base at an angle so it would be easy to clean. How many of you have cookware at home with rivets in your handles? Anybody ever clean around there? That's a bacteria that leaches into your foods. You will not see any rivets in these handles. And has anybody here ever been cooking and you always need a place to set your lid? Not anymore. They designed the lids to fit inside the handle right there. And if you wanted to hang your cookware up, you could hang your cookware up and your lid was always there waiting for you. Now, I thought that was a pretty cool feature until they made this. Because we're the only 100% American-made cookware in the world today, ladies and gentlemen, the United States of America has allotted us to be the only cookware company in the world for anyone that has served in our armed forces to put your military emblem of your choice on the lid Just like you see right there. The only ones allowed to do that in the world. Of course, I was 3 years Navy, 3 years Marines. Which one do you think I have? I have them both. Okay. And no, they don't make Dallas Cowboy ones, okay? But we're going to pass this around, let everybody play with this. But, sir, would you do me a favor? Would you rub the bottom of that pan right there? I want to ask you a question. Ain't that the smoothest bottom you ever felt?
It is.
Second smoothest? Last guy did that too. Wife jumped up, said it better not be. You done good. We're gonna pass this around, let everybody play with this. But ladies and gentlemen, has anybody here ever bought something off a computer? When you got something home, it wasn't what you thought you were gonna get. See, that's happened to me. Do you know that you can look up this kind of cookware, waterless cookware on a website, and it looks the same? It's shiny. It's pretty. It's got a black handle with a hole in the top. Here's your difference. This is made in China. This is made in America. What I'd like to do, I want to pass it around. I want you to feel what something feels like in China right there. And if you'll pass it just down the aisle, I want you to feel what something feels like made in America. And as you do this, go ahead and take that one and then pass that one down there. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, that was a little heavier. Ladies and gentlemen, wait till you feel the weight of that pan coming around right there. Now, while you're passing that around, everything's done. We're going to sample some food, then we're going to have a drawing for a door prize. As you look at these vegetables right here, you boil them just this way we do it at home. You've all done it. You boil them, spoil them, jab them, stab them, poke them, and smoke them. And then what do we do with the juices? You dump them where? Down the drain. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mayo, the Mayo Clinic, said if our sinks had a digestive tract, they'd be the single best fed members of our homes today, because you take the vitamins, sugars, and flavors, and you pour it down the sewer. How many of you all had a cup of coffee this morning for breakfast? How many of you all ate the coffee grounds? Common sense, nobody does. But do you realize it's the same thing you do with your vegetables? You might as well throw the carrots away, and you might as well drink the juice. What do we do in our country? We do it different. You take the vitamins, sugars, and flavors, you pour this down the drain, you put your vegetables on a plate with no flavor. What do you add to them to give them flavor? Butter, salt. Lady yesterday said brown sugar. I said, where are you from? She said, Atlanta, Georgia. I'll tell you right now. And you start throwing this all over your foods, and here's the way your conversation starts going at home. You say, honey, I don't know why we can't lose any weight. I don't know why your cholesterol level won't go down. Don't even know why you have high blood pressure. You think this might have something to do with it?
Oh, yeah.
This one here, they call it heart attack in a box. This one here, they give it a name, they call it low-fat butter. You know why they call it low-fat butter? Because when you eat it, it puts fat on the lower part of your butts. that's my favorite one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you the vegetables we cooked with no water. We only used 2 minutes of energy. How many of you like to save money? That would be all of us. But as I show you these vegetables, I have the hardest job in here out the fair, because, ladies and gentlemen, talking about health and nutrition, you can walk out that front door in a 2.5 mile radius, you got more fried foods than any place in the world. That's scary. What I'm going to show you here, ladies and gentlemen, you come out here to the fair once or twice a year, indulge, eat all the junk food out there you want. This is for the rest of your life. 2 minutes of energy and no water. Now let's take a look at those vegetables. Now, as we look at them, we want everybody in the building to know you're having a good time. Those guys over there are ringing the bell all the time. So we want everybody to know you're having a good time right here. So as I show you these vegetables, you're all gonna go, ooh. Okay, try it for me. Ooh. Sounds like you're falling asleep, okay? I want them to know 10 rows back, we're having a good time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. And look at your vegetables. Your greens are greens, your purples are purples, your yellows are yellow. And if you need a hot plate, you got a hot plate, you don't have to worry about burning up the counter. Some of the wives have demanding husbands. Husband comes home and says, honey, I thought supper would be on the table. You say, fine. Sit down, shut up, it is. But see, we do this for a reason. We know that after dinner, sir, I'd be careful, because she's laughing at that way too hard. But see, we do this for a reason. We know that after dinner, all men jump up and volunteer to do dishes, right? Okay, let me rephrase that. Regardless of who does the dishes, anybody here ever use vinegar and water to clean with? Taught to me by my grandmother, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what? You're done. You're cleaned up. You're out of the kitchen. And by the way, I'm not afraid to tell anybody out here that I'm 60 years old. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? 6 grandchildren, 60 years old. I realized when I turned 60 that my time on this planet is starting to narrow just a little bit. I want to spend more time with my family and more time with my grandchildren. I don't want to do dishes, but I want to eat healthy. Do you see where we're going with this? Ladies, all this show is common sense, and you're all laughing. I was doing a show a couple weeks ago. This cute little lady, she was watching my show. She got so excited. She come running over. She goes, Mark, she goes, I love it. She goes, I want it all. Yeah, I smiled too. She goes, no, I want everything you got. How can I get it? I said, well, dear, credit card, layaway, 90 days, same as cash. However you want to do, it's up to you. She said, well, that's easy. She said, here's my gold card. She goes, I want the biggest set you got. And I looked at that lady, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I said, how old are you? Gentlemen, never ask a woman how old she is. She looked at me and she said, excuse me? And see, I'm from the country, so I didn't catch the hint. So just as dumb as I asked her the first time, guess what I did? I asked her again. I said, dear, how old are you? And she looked at me and she goes, young man. Now, I'm 60 years old. She called me young man. She goes, young man? She goes, I'm 84, and what does my age have to do with me getting cookware? And I said, well, that's easy. At 84 years old, you don't need all this cookware. I said, we have basic sets, family sets. We'll piece it all together for you. And when I told her that made her madder. She hit my counter. She goes, let me tell you something, Sonny. She said, first off, never, ever tell an 84-year-old woman what she can and can't have. She said, if I was you, I wouldn't tell any woman what she can or can't have. And she said, for 45 years, I've wanted a set of this cookware. And for 45 years, my husband's had his guns, his knives, his boats, his rods, his reels, his golf clubs, his tools, his toys. She said, 45 years? She said, all I've wanted was a matching, healthy set of cookware for my kitchen and family. She goes, I'm not going to get that cookware because I need it, because at 84, I don't need it at all. She goes, don't you think at 84 I finally deserve it? And she said, besides at 84, she said, he's not around to stop me anymore. Oh, it wasn't funny at the time. I'm thinking her husband died. I said, dear, I'm sorry your husband died. Passed away. She goes, he didn't die. I said, excuse me? She goes, oh no. She goes, he's 84 years old like me. She goes, I don't take him out with me anymore. She goes, he's at home watching his big screen TV. I said, you mean to tell me you're going to buy all this cookware and you're not going to talk it over with your husband first? She said, at 84? She said, I learned from him a long time ago that it's a whole lot easier to get forgiveness than it was to ever get permission. I don't know if that's true or not, but sir, your wife's laughing at that pretty hard in the back again. Sir, do you get forgiveness or do you get permission? And don't answer. You'll be in as much trouble as he almost was with a soft bottom. Not that you have one. We're going to let you sample the food. We're going to pass around the flatware. I call this flatware because these are flat toothpicks. But do me a favor, I'm running real short on these, so make sure that you lick these off real good. So I got it for the next group that sits. Okay, I'm joking, I can't do that. But if you get a wet one, I think I'd flip it over to the other side, just to play it safe. However you want to do it, it's up to you. But here's what we'll start down here on the end. Same way, we're going to go down the aisle, we're going to zigzag. There's a hole in the top. Go ahead and dump your toothpick out. We're going to let everybody sample the food. Now, as soon as we do this, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important part of the show. Now, we've had some fun. How many of you learning a little bit? Anybody having a good time? I hope you're all having a good time. But ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of an important part of the show because these are the vegetables we boil. If you boil your vegetables, if you microwave them or you steam them, this is the way they're going to taste. Has anybody here ever had hospital food before? It's kind of bland. You want to add butter, salt, or sugar to your vegetables as you see it here. But ladies and gentlemen, does anybody here, I should ask this, still use a microwave oven to cook with? Now, I'm not trying to step on any toes and get anybody mad at me. I do have a microwave oven in my kitchen. I tell people it's the most expensive coffee warmer, popcorn maker sitting on my shelf today. But folks, microwaves were never ever engineered designed for cooking. Microwaves were engineered designed for what? Warming or reheating your foods. If you are cooking with a microwave oven, you are cooking at such an excessive or high heat, you're taking the vitamins, nutrients, and enzymes out of your foods. When your body doesn't get the enzymes that it needs, it causes what we call the aging process. We get older quicker, we get older faster. If you'll do me a favor, take a toothpick, try these carrots here first. They're gonna be kind of bland. And as you're passing those on around, right, they sort of taste like hospital food. Now, before we show you these vegetables and let everybody try these, I did mention earlier, I'm not telling anybody to go on a diet. What's the first 3 letters of diet spell? Anybody here ever been on a diet? Then went off the diet? Then went on the diet? Y'all do the same thing over and over again? Y'all know the definition of insanity? Doing that same thing over and over again, expecting different results? How about we eat right? So I guess I should ask this question. Is there anybody in my audience that's had a family member, relative, brother, sister, cousin, that's lived to be a ripe old age into their 90s? 92, 94, look at this all around the room, very good. Now let me ask you a question. Did they go out to eat a whole lot?
No.
No, they didn't, did they? Did they eat out of microwave ovens? No. No, and did they go on diets? No. You know what they did? They ate anything they wanted in moderation. They didn't eat out of electronics, and they never went out to eat. They ate what they did at home. Now, ladies, and they didn't go on diets either, because they didn't have to. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I want everybody to try these vegetables right here. Now, you're more than welcome to try everything on the plate, but if you would do me a favor, try the carrots first. So you can do the comparison, and you can see what we're doing here. Try the carrots first. While you're trying those vegetables right there, ladies and gentlemen, yes? Oh, absolutely, sure you can. Okay, if you look up here at me, ladies and gentlemen, and is anybody close to my age, 60, maybe a little over, maybe a little younger, and when you wake up in the morning, your shoulders and elbows are starting to hurt a little more? How about your knees? When you're walking, your knees are starting to feel that little. How about your hips when you're trying to move a little bit? Do you know why? Because ladies and gentlemen, you ain't getting the nutrients you're supposed to be getting out of these vegetables right here. See, we lost all those nutrients. We lost all those things that keep our joints and everything else, thank you very much, to keep us healthy. As you try these vegetables coming around right here, ladies and gentlemen, all your vitamins, your sugars, and your nutrients are right there. Now, don't worry about it. We'll pick it up down the road. But ladies and gentlemen, as you're starting with these vegetables right here, just in the front row right here, we're going to try those first. Anybody out here, as you're looking at these vegetables, has waterless cookware in their home right now? How many people have waterless cookware in their home right now? I got a few of you. Good. How long have you had your cookware? About 3 years? How long have you had your cookware, do you know? About how long? Okay, very good. My wife and I have had ours for 41. And how long? 12 years over here. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3 greatest features I can tell you about the cookware is this: West Bend's Kitchen Craft, the #1 rated cookware in the world today for 111 years, is unconditionally warranted forever and ever and ever. You cannot hurt this cookware. What's the next greatest features? Where's this cookware made? Ladies and gentlemen, as a veteran, I'm very proud to stand up here and let you know everything in my booth, including me, is 100% made in the United States of America. Y'all can applaud the United States of America, because if we don't start buying America, we ain't going to be America much longer. And I'd like to keep the jobs in my country for my children, the way our parents and our grandparents did for all of us. What's the next greatest feature is cost. How many of y'all would like to know what the cookware cost? Raise your hands. Well, I've got good news for everybody out here. This cookware is not cheap. But I say that with all the pride and all the sincerity in the world, because if anybody's looking for something cheap, Walmart will stay open 24 hours throughout the country. You can buy all your cheap stuff down there. But maybe I should ask this question for all the group. How many men in my audience go to Walmart to buy their tools? Nobody raised their hands. But we would do the tools in our kitchens. Isn't that scary? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part that touches our food every day. How many of you in the first 2 rows could taste the difference in the vegetables? Which one would you rather feed your family? The first one or the second one? Let's think about what we just did here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called common sense. And my wife and I, 41 years we invested in our cookware, and you know what? We still have it. So I guess my question today is this for everybody. If you could walk through your front door today, everything in your home you only had to buy once, how rich would you be? Does that mean you've all had just one cell phone? One car? One TV? Think about it just for a second. How many times will you do this? Once. Ask anybody in this room that's had their cookware. It's the greatest investment because you only do it once. But this is the gift of all gifts that was given to me this year at the state. Where's my corn? Who took my corn? Boy, somebody dove into the car. They dove right down the aisle, I'll tell you. But ladies and gentlemen, and they're running now. Get the corn and run. Anyway, as I show this to everybody, this was the greatest gift ever given me because, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have been out here to the state fair before? Seen me out here for 30 years doing this fair? Ladies and gentlemen, this year a lady walked up to me and she goes, Mark, how long have you been doing this? And I said, 41 years. Why? She goes, no, how long have you been at the state fair? I said, for over 30 years. And why the questions? She said, well, for 25 years, my mother and I, we've been coming out here to the state fair. And she said, my mother loved you. She said, Mom walked through the front gate. She said, let's go see Mark at the cooking show. She said, but anything ever happens to me, she said, I don't care what it is, you make sure you take Mark one of my pans. See, there was a reason. She knew that I collected all the antique cookware, like the set from 1957. That's over 62 years old, looks brand new, and used every day. How about the original kitchen cutter from 1902? That's 115 years old. The oven that's sitting over here from the 1940s, ladies, that's over 70 years old. And all the antique cookware you see out there in the front. She walked up to me and she goes, Mark, I'm 78, my mom passed. So I'd like to bring you one of her pans, but you got to promise never to get rid of it. I said, I'll use it in every show, and I have. Because, ladies and gentlemen, she says, I got something to show you. It was a surprise. It was a receipt booklet from 1914. 103 years old, and it still has the Kitchen Craft stamp on the bottom of it. Ladies and gentlemen, you buy this cookware one time, it's the best investment you'll ever make. By the way, in 1914, she spent $159 for her set of cookware. 103 years ago, she still had it. Now we're going to draw for a door prize. I know some of you are sitting down resting. Some of you are concerned with quality nutrition in your homes. Some of you don't know why you're here. Anybody that would like to get a brochure and a prices at the end of the show, stick around for 2-3 minutes. We're going to be giving away, we're going to do something special. You notice we are doing a special video here. We're going to be giving away some of our kitchen cutters, some of our new saute pans, some of our gourmet cookers. Right now this is just a baby gift, just to say thank you for watching the show. Sort of like, what do you call a mushroom that goes into a bar and buys drinks for everybody? A fun guy. My granddaughter told me that joke. She said, Grandpa using your cooking show. So I tell grandchildren, you got to do it. Anybody else here have grandchildren? Aren't they fun? Don't you wish you'd have had them first? You give them back. It's so cool. Give them what they want, send them home. Anyway, okay, this is just a fun gift to say thank you for watching the show. And then again, afterwards, we're going to give away some gourmet cookers and fun stuff. Whose ticket starts with 3, 2, 1? Raise your hands. Yeah, they all do. Last 3 numbers are 171. Does anybody in this group have 171? Going once? Going twice? We're going to draw. Somebody walked away with their ticket. I probably have it up here. I do. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to throw it back in here. Okay, do you 2 ladies have a ticket? Give them 2 ladies a ticket right there. You get a ticket. They got one. Y'all didn't get one back there? Oh, would you do me a favor? Keep one. I got 5 left to give them to the folks in the back. That's it. Oh, well, I am so limited on these things. Okay, I didn't see you back there. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, I got it. Here's the way it works. I'm not giving one that just sat down, honey. I got to give it to the people that watch the show. Give them the shot. Would you hand that back to that lady? Thank you. Hand it to her right there. Okay. It's just a fun gift to say thank you for watching the show. And we're going to try this one more time. Put those in there. Mix these all up real good. Try it again, okay?
Mark, do you prefer the other one? White onion.
The question was, do I prefer the yellow onions over the white onions or the red onions? Let me just help you without, because a lot of people ask me about that. If you're doing colored vegetables, okay, remember that the more color they have, the more antioxidants. So it's better for, so in other words, if you're doing green cabbage or red cabbage, a few more antioxidants. White onions, yellow onions, and then red onions. Red onions first, and then in reverse. So you get more nutrients out of your colored vegetables. Okay, whose ticket starts with, try this again, 3, 2, 1. Last three numbers are 161. Does anybody have 161? That lady over there, she's been so patient and so quiet. Could you hand me your ticket there? What's your name? Christy, and where are you from? Fort Worth? Oh. I got a special gift for you. They still use it in Fort Worth. Oh yeah, this doesn't even come with directions, Christy. Yeah, when you get this, I'm gonna explain it to you because when you y'all lived on a farm too, didn't you? In case anybody doesn't know what this is what they call the true pot and pan. Years ago, Grandma slid this under her bed. Christy, she called this a pot. She cooked corn out of this in the summer and called it a pan. That's disgusting. Y'all know the difference between a city girl and a country girl, don't you? A city girl's got a can of pee on top her bed. That's a cloth and canopy. Never mind, you'll get these tomorrow. They'll be just as funny tomorrow. Every year we give away beautiful gifts. Today's our senior day, and you ain't even a senior, so you lucked out. All those up here in front of, is mom and dad up here in front of you? Very good. It's not like mother and father-in-law, right? See, I got a sign over my doorway. It says the difference between in-laws and outlaws is outlaws are wanted. Okay, but no. Let it go. Let it go. That wasn't that funny, okay? But here's, I searched worldwide to try and find something American made. We got these left over from Veterans Day, and I was looking for something red, white, and blue American made, and I found it. You're gonna love these. These are called Quick Cut Paring Knives. Red, white, and blue, American made, razor sharp. Let's give her a big hand, ladies, and what a nice gift. You're gonna love those things right there. But now we're gonna give away some free cookware. How many of y'all like freebies? How many of y'all would like to get a brochure and a price list on the cookware? Raise your hands, Kim. I got you together, one together. Well, are those two women with you, sir? Oh, just okay, just two there, three there. I got you counted 4, 5. I got you counted 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over here, 11 and 12. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look up here at me, I'm going to be giving away a lot of cookware on this demonstration here. Today is our senior day out here. I'm going to be over here in front of the cookware. I want to make sure that everybody can see me over here. And as I do show this to everybody, how many of you have been out here to the State Fair before and seen me before? 30 years I have been out here. And the good news is this, ladies and gentlemen, the 30 years I've been out here, a lot of you will know me, but most of you will know the company. It's been around since 1906, over 111 years. And here's the best news of all. You don't stay in business for 111 years and not do something right. Let me tell you what they did right. We kept everything American made. How many of you are trying to buy more American made products? I would hope that would be all of us. Very good. But ladies and gentlemen, the other thing to do, cookware's never been sold in any store. It's only two places you ever see is cookware. One is you invite me into your home. I come in and I cook you a full 7-course meal for you and 12 guests. I bring all the food. We've done that for over 40 years. That's the only way you'll see this cookware. Other than you come out to the fair once a year for 24 days. And we run the most phenomenal specials you've ever seen. How many of you like sales? How many of you like quality? I have a sign on the back of my display right here. It says the bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low price is forgotten. You know what that means? When you buy junk, you get junk. Anybody know whose quote that is? Benjamin Franklin from 200 years ago. And because of that right there, ladies and gentlemen, today is our senior day, and we're going to be giving away a couple of these kitchen cutters. So I always ask, if I gave y'all a kitchen cutter, who would take one at no charge? Because I haven't had anybody refuse me yet. And we're also going to do something even more special as I show this to everybody out here. How many of you still do breakfast? Anybody still do breakfast? Oh good, a lot of you still do breakfast. This is our breakfast combo. And as I let one, I'm gonna just pass one more piece around. Anybody here ever have a flat griddle in their kitchen? And after 2 weeks they warp. They buckle, they bend, they never sit flat again. This is the only 7-layer griddle in the world today. I'm gonna let y'all pass this around. You want to talk about a beautiful piece right there? Heavy duty, will never warp, buckle, or bend. And Bob, no. I'm watching you. Okay. You don't whap them. Okay. No. And by the way, does anybody here still use a crock pot or a slow cooker? Now, in a few minutes, this will probably be your favorite piece. Everybody's going to like the gourmet cooker right there. But ladies and gentlemen, we also have a new one this year for the State Fair. We've now engineered the largest slow cooker in the world today. But what I would like to do with everybody up here today is I would like everybody to have one of these. You're going to, for everybody that raised their hands, you're going to write your sales specials here at the fair, right here, right here. Remembering that today is our senior day at the fair. Not all of you are seniors, but today is called being in the right place at the right time. So we're going to write our specials here, right here. There's an ink pen in the top. I am limited on how many of these clipboards that I do give out. Make sure that if you want to get one of these, grab one, and if you do, would you pass this behind you for me? Right there. Raise your hands. Make sure if you want to get one, you guys raise your hands. If you don't want to get one, now's your chance to leave. We'll give you an opportunity just to go ahead and get out of here if you want to get out. If you don't, I'll get you a clipboard, and everybody gets a chance to get in on the good stuff, okay? Make sure you get one. Don't give it away no more. Anyway, here, you hold on to that. And one down there for Grandma and Grandpa. Here you go. Very good. And you want one for your daughter. There you go. One for her. Okay, very good. Now, look up here at me. Ladies and gentlemen, did you not get yours? Don't pass it back. Here you go. Yes, sir. Right there. Has everybody got a clipboard that needs one? Okay. Now, I'll see you next year. All righty. Thank you, darling. Bye-bye, baby. See you later. Okay, now, look up here at me. Ladies and gentlemen, take your ink pen out. Everybody can take, oh, yeah, pass that on back. Be careful, sir. She was swinging that around a while ago. Okay, just be a little careful. No, she was deadly with that thing. Okay, now, look up here at me. Ladies and gentlemen, look up here. This is a first come, first served basis when I start giving away the cookware, and I will limit what I'm going to give away. So this is what you want to be here. This is what you come out to the State Fair. Sir, could I have that back right now? Yeah, that's. I'll go ahead and take that from you. If you had a bag, that thing might have been gone. I'll tell you. Anyway. Okay, now, if y'all would look up here at me, ladies and gentlemen, you will notice that we have 4 rows of cookware. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Everything on the top row is what everybody comes out to the fair to get. It's what everybody wants. That is the kitchen cutter. That is the gourmet cooker. That is the breakfast combo. The new gourmet cooker. Everything across the top is what everybody wants. From here down is what everybody needs. And if you'll look up here at me, we're going to start with the very first set right here, and I'll get to show you the first new piece. We have 3 new pieces this year for the 2017 Texas State Fair. Look what we did. Ladies and gentlemen, across the top here is your classic senior starter set on the top row right here, and look what they did. For many years, ladies and gentlemen, that skillet, which is the 8.5-inch saute pan, was in the classic set. These never existed. This year, look what we did. We took out the 8.5-inch and we added the large 10-inch saute pan. Now we're going to make this even better. How many of you liked how easy it was to do the egg in our new egg skillet?